Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Ren, and you have reached my daily vlog of diet and fitness and just like life changes on to help, well, my choice to get healthier. And I share all the information that I have learned and accumulated over this past year so that anybody who is struggling with weight or weight-related health issues can perhaps, take heed on some of the advice. So that being said, you know, today's busy. And being busy walking around doing things is important to stay busy, even when you don't necessarily feel like doing that. Sometimes you do need to make yourself do that. I cooked tonight. I made like ground up turkey with like the sweet peppers and uh, cherry tomatoes and sliced that up and cooked it together and put a sauce in there. It was this little quick, easy, low carb, yeah, high protein dinner. It's a simple thing, a simple dish, but I mean, you could do variations of it with pretty much like any fruit or vegetable you might want to put in there. And then you can even use any seasoning. I mean, sky's the limit with that, honestly. You could even add cheese, but you gotta be careful with cheese. I mean, I love cheese, but there are a lot of calories in cheese and a lot of fats, and too much of anything can be bad. So we just kind of got to be careful with that. Um, yeah, another idea of variation of that would be like to add like Italian seasoning and a little bit of salt or something, or maybe even some lemon juice if you don't want the salt that day. You think you've had too much salt that day. Lemon juice would work with that too, and that's a real healthy way to season it. Now, keep in mind when cooking with ground turkey, because it's so lean, it's a very dry meat, and so you will need to use an oil when you cook with the other vegetables. I used avocado oil tonight because it's a good fat. That actually makes it so I can get my good fat in because you do need those. You do need like helping certain servings of good fats every day, and that's just a little way I can slip that in. You can also do olive oil. We're just trying avocado oil because my partner really likes avocados, and I'm like, oh, we'll try the oil. We typically use olive oil though. That's generally what we use. I actually don't even use regular cooking oil these days. I just because I'm always trying to slip in and keep the balance. So yay. And uh, yeah. So with that being said, I went with my protein drinks today. It's been fun. Still don't got my water turned back on, so it was kind of fun cooking without running water. But yeah, be even funner cleaning without running water. I can actually do dishes. I have ways of doing dishes, and obviously of showering and things like that. I may not have. I'm still waiting to get my pipes replaced, but it doesn't mean I'm out. I gotta love this out. And it's warm today. It was a short day, so fun, fun. Oh, and tank top, obviously. Uh, ah, butterfly tank top today. So It was also recognizing I need self-help day. So I made an appointment to see my therapist, and I do that tomorrow. I mean, acknowledging that I'm slipping and I definitely need to get in and be seeing it. It's humbling because you want to think you're self-reliant and you think you're beyond that, but you know that sometimes you do need extra help, and that's why we have resources like this, and that's why people go to school to do that. Honestly, it's like why there's doctors, why there's therapists, why there's specialists. It's because sometimes you do need help, and it is okay to acknowledge that. And that is a hard one because a lot of people I have been seeing, they don't think that therapy would work. They don't believe that they need that. And I I've always felt different. I mean, I've always been, if there is a tool out there that can make your life easier, why don't you use it? I mean, I, I just thought it made sense that way to me. If there is a tool that can make my life easier, sign me up. So that's what so it's a busy week for me, but it's definitely worth it. Saw my primary care doctor today too, so that was fun. But it's just on the track of being healthy. You just gotta acknowledge and you gotta continue follow through. You can't sit there and be like, oh, diet and exercise, that's all I need. And no. No. If that was all you needed to lose the weight and keep it off, then more people would be doing it. Or if dieting would be all that you needed to lose the weight and keep it off, then more people would be doing it. But it is important that you maintain a relationship with the specialists, like your doctors and stuff, because they can, keep track to make sure that you are getting the correct nutrients for your body. Because especially with dieting, you do cut out a lot of things. Now, following the diet to where you do get the correct amount of proteins, the correct amount of fruits and vegetables, and the dairies and stuff, you will get the adequate amount of nutrients that you need. But that being said, sometimes we're not able to like get stick to it as closely as we'd like because life happens. And then when that happens, and especially if you've had weight loss surgery, you're kind of put in that pickle because you can't eat as much as you used to. So you can't just make up with it. Oh, I didn't have enough calcium today. I'll just go grab some. Get like this much calcium. No, not working because your stomach's only so big. Or I'll add just this to my dinner. It's no problem. You can't do that anymore. And so that's another thing that you do need to kind of keep following through with. And I love it when people think that, weight loss surgery is the magic bullet to like take off all the weight, keep it off, and keep you on track. No, you can gain the weight back. Absolutely. You can have gastric bypass, sleeve surgery, whatever surgery you pick to do, you can still gain your weight back. That's why it's important to change your lifestyle, change how you perceive food, and do the mental health things and do the exercise things and kind of make yourself accountable every day for that. And I struggle every day with that. I'm like, okay, what have I done today? Or what have I eaten today? I kind of streamline some things like to keep my protein levels at right where I know that I'm getting my minimum proteins every day, single day. I get my protein drinks or my yogurts or, that's how I streamline it. It works for me, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for you. And you can always have more proteins. It's just you don't want to go under your protein amounts, and that's important. And some people don't like meat, which is fine. I actually have an aunt who doesn't like meat. She says it tastes weird, and she used to like meat, but it started tasting weird, and it started becoming unappealing to her. And that's entirely fine. You can still get your proteins from plants. It's just you gotta take like extra minerals and vitamins to complete that protein lock. So it is definitely possible to do the low carb lifestyle diet. You just gotta be mindful of how you do it. It's all about if I go down this path and choose this option, I gotta weigh it all out. And like things to go or convenience foods, we tend to be tired tonight. Like, for example, I had to slice up all the little sweet bell peppers that I got, and there's a few of them because they're small, they're tiny. And then I had to slice up all the cherry tomatoes, well, chop them in half so like cook proper and get flavored fully. In doing all that and cooking the turkey, I think dinner only took like 20 minutes from start to finish. That's doing all of that. And I think the longest, including cleanup afterwards, I think I've spent, it's 45 minutes. That's the longest I've ever spent cooking homemade food. And that's including cleanup afterwards. And honestly, cleanup's usually pretty quick. Obviously not tonight. That'll be tomorrow cleanup for me. But doing that, I can make that option and then I can control what goes into my foods, what I can get out of my foods. I'm not having to worry about how much carbs are in there. I I get my lean proteins in there and I can still make a very delicious meal. And you don't even have to be that good at cooking. I mean, it's just mostly paying attention. I mean, if you can make a box of macaroni and cheese, you could pretty much cook what I cooked tonight. You just, brown up some ground turkey, and then long as the turkey is done, the rest of it is negotiable. It doesn't, I mean, you can have it as al dente or whatever you want, as firm or soft as you want, and you just check it as you go. It's paying attention and not cooking on high heat. Well, I don't know why people do that. Honestly, I don't go past medium heat when I cook. But it's just another thing is they do have like things you can get that are simple to go. Like I said, the legendary pastry things that look like Pop Tarts. I get those, and if I am going to be going to the gym that day and I want to get like something solid in my stomach, because I normally just do like a protein drink in the morning. But if I want something more solid in my stomach, I'll have one of those. And I know it's 20 grams of protein and it's low carb and there's no sugar and it actually tastes pretty good. So there are things out there that are pre-made that you can grab that are healthy for you. And there's a lot of things. And you and they even make like zero sugar jerky now. Saw that the other day and I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. So there are so many possibilities to stay on track and adhere to your diet, and delicious possibilities. You don't have to sacrifice flavor. It's a common misconception. I think we were, I think in the dawn of diet food back in the day when we, I guess, didn't really understand diets as like we do now in nutrition and such, that that diet food was pretty awful. But we've come a long ways when, it's not the original. Where you've definitely we've definitely gotten better. And I'm grateful for that. I don't necessarily get TV dinners because even even the most healthy-ish of TV dinners are still higher in salt or higher in sugar, because at the end of the day, they're trying to sell a product, and sugar and salt are two of the most addictive things that they can legally put in food besides caffeine. But those are like very addictive. And when first starting this diet, you get to the point where you have to kind of like, well, it's not even a diet, it's really a lifestyle change. But when you first go down the path, you gotta detox from all that sugar and salt that you've been ingesting all these years. And that in itself is hard. It really is. Because you're like, gosh, this sounds good. This salty thing or this sweet thing, what I'm craving right now. And it's gets easier. It really does. But at first, it is hard. And I struggled. But I pushed through because, and if the craving got really, really bad and I was craving it for like, it was going on weeks and it's the same item, I would get the item and typically to take like a bite or two because it was more of the idea of the item than the actual item that I was craving. And that usually did it for me. And yeah, so if you do start craving something, it doesn't mean that you're a failure if you intake. But if you continue and keep, you know, this one's like cookies today, cheesecake the next day, things like that, that would be failing. And so we all have slip ups. I have slip ups. Even today, to this day, I should say, we all have slip ups. And it's not a perfect world we live in. We're not perfect. So embrace your imperfections and learn from them. That being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope these are helpful advice. I didn't really talk about much today. I kind of only had honestly, I've only had a couple hours of sleep last night, and I've been on the go. I've been doing a lot of chores today, like laundry and dishes and doggy daycare. I don't even have a dog. But so it's been a very long day already, unfortunately. That being said, your imperfections, I think, are beautiful because anything, are what make you unique, and they what make you you. And with hope, anything is possible, so never give up. Hope. And remember to hydrate. Drink your water. At least 64 ounces a day. Until next time.